We've already discussed the major plot leak that's out there for Avengers Doomsday, and it sounds awful, as we talked about. There's no real story or theme, just a succession of heavy exposition-led plot points and action sequences laced with cameos and crossovers. It's basically a poor version of Avengers Infinity War, but without the years of build-up, tension, or reason for being. Doomsday began shooting without a finished script, and it was heavily reworked during the filming process. Actors were often having their lines reworked while they were on set shooting the film. This is a chaotic and unstructured way of making a movie, made all the more complex by the fact that many actors shot their scenes against green screens in isolation from other actors, so they didn't always know who they were supposed to be reacting to. And this was done so that the character could basically be cut and pasted into different scenes and different locations in post-production. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. This is a film that feels like it was basically made up as they went along. And unsurprisingly then, the film has experienced major problems during the editing process. This article is from Geeks and Gamers. Rumour: Avengers Doomsday is a complete mess. Major editing problems arise after Marvel filmed without a finished script. Not advisable. According to a new report, Avengers Doomsday has become a mess in post-production after Marvel allegedly began filming without a completed screenplay. While these claims remain unconfirmed, they're notable because they align with public comments already made by members of the cast and Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige himself. Yeah, we've heard about these reports going back quite a while now, so it's not new information in that regard. But the degree to which this type of filmmaking is affecting the film in editing, that is new, but certainly not surprising. It says the report comes from World of Real, whose editor, Jordan Rumi, claims a long-time source informed him months ago that Avengers Doomsday was already experiencing significant creative problems. According to the report, editors are now struggling to piece the movie together after principal photography wrapped. A script is your guiding document for a film. And yes, things do often change in post-production. Sometimes what a writer or director thought would work on paper doesn't quite translate on screen, and so it has to be changed. Sometimes it's changed during shooting. A director makes a decision, a scene is reinterpreted, and sometimes things are altered or entirely cut in the editing process. That's fine, and that's normal. That's part of filmmaking. But this is entirely different. This is a film that started shooting without its solid foundational document to build from, the screenplay. It sounds more like they were working from a rough draft and just added and removed stuff as they went along. I mean, it's no wonder they're encountering issues in editing. This is like trying to make a jigsaw puzzle when you don't know what the finished picture is supposed to look like. It says, interestingly, the rumour gained additional attention after entertainment commentator John Campea claimed he'd heard similar things from one of his own sources. Campea said the Russo brothers are reportedly discovering problems now that they're trying to assemble the finished film. Yeah, well, look, it's pretty simple. When a film lacks a coherent script, it lacks a coherent vision. And I'm not seeing how a great film can come from that. During production, Rebecca Romaine acknowledged that Avengers Doomsday was still being written while cameras were already rolling. Meanwhile, Kevin Feige has repeatedly defended Marvel's practice of rewriting scripts throughout production, describing the process as plussing, a philosophy where scenes continue evolving during filming rather than locking everything before production begins. Well, call it whatever you want. I call it what it is, which is shooting with an incomplete screenplay and making it up as you go along. So it's no wonder that Avengers Doomsday is having editing issues at this point. That can't be good. But then again, as we've discussed from the leaks, we've gone through the plot leak already, the film just sounds awful, unfortunately. And to be honest, I was really hoping that Doomsday was going to be a return to form. But I think they were simply banking on Bring back Robert Downey Jr., bring back Chris Evans, have this huge crossover, throw in the X-Men, Avengers, New Avengers, Fantastic Four, throw them all together and sort of see what happens. You know, you've got a rough outline of what the story should be, put together a fairly basic enough script, and see if you can find it in the filming process and see if you can find the film in the editing process. This is not a way to make a great movie. It's a way to make a mess. It's just organized chaos, really, isn't it? And I think that perhaps the reason they didn't have a strong script to build this film off, and this is just me speculating at this stage, is perhaps because the core story for this film is a rather hollow one. It's a rather empty one. This is a film that's based around a plot gimmick, a contrivance of multiverse incursions causing mayhem. And so our favorite characters have to run around different universes and do stuff, basically. All the while, a new villain is misleading all of these heroes in a very transparent and obvious manner. Very transparent and obvious to the audience, certainly. I mean, the film is called Doomsday. It's obvious that, you know, Doctor Doom is the bad guy, but we're going to go through the majority of the film with the main characters not actually knowing this or understanding it when everyone else is miles ahead of them. That's not going to be a particularly fun thing to watch. It's not going to be a major twist, is it? It's not going to be a surprise. And look, I don't care about incursions, whatever they are. I care about characters. I care about a story that's about something that is supposed to be meaningful or thought-provoking for the people in it. Characters that we're supposed to relate to. I'm not interested in a series of random events and expositionary scenes and info dumps and action sequences all stitched together to try to justify a plot device, which itself is just an excuse to manufacture crossovers and, of course, the return of people like Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. And I think the filmmakers have kind of backed themselves into a corner when they made the decision to make the film fundamentally about the multiverse. And the multiverse has not been a popular plot device, be it for Marvel or for DC, which has also explored the multiverse in recent years. The multiverse is a terrible story idea, which just robs a story of a sense of danger, stakes, and consequences. But I've been talking about that for a very long time. There you go, guys. I'm going to wrap this one up here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell to be notified of future updates. Hit that like button. Share the video out there. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.